Hello, this is Ifan from the Black Room, and I'm here reviewing a trade from yesterday, the KEX from yesterday afternoon. And yesterday I experienced some technical difficulties near the open. The platform that I was using had an issue where data was interrupted for about 2 to 3 hours. But I think it brings up a good point because I know a lot of traders only trade the first hour, maybe hour and a half. They only trade the open, which it makes sense. You can take most intraday charts and volatility is at its highest at the open, so that's understandable. Personally, my philosophy on this and why I trade from open to close is that if I truly believe that I'm a good chart reader, then I should be able to trade all day because I'm getting more information. I'm getting more information from the charts, I'm getting more patterns, so with that I should be able to read the charts just as well going into the afternoon, if not better. So that's my approach, and I think yesterday really put that to the test because it really took me out of the morning session. Okay, so here's actually, we can compare what this chart looked like to yesterday with the data issues. And so as you can see, from about 10 o'clock East Coast time, so 7 o'clock for me, from about that point until after lunch, so 10 o'clock here, 1 o'clock, the data's wrong. And for some of the charts that I had, it was just complete white space. Didn't even have candlesticks populated in here. So with that being the case, and being a trader dependent on technical analysis, if I don't have charts, what am I trading, right? So there was nothing. I couldn't do anything in the morning. So that kind of took me out of it. I had to have Mark for me to cover my shift too, and I couldn't broadcast because without good charts, kind of useless. So but I waited until I started to get the information back. So you can see around 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock East Coast time, now I'm starting to get accurate data, right, on the KEX. Now the chart's starting to fill in. I got a glimpse of it from some other traders who had different platforms, just so I could see what this looked like. And as we were approaching the final hour, I thought it was a very good setup. So we can remove this incorrect distorted chart now. Okay, and now look at this nice 15-minute base here. Basing, 20 MA catching up, starting to curl over price. Okay, so then with that being the case, good enough to call now. So this was the call on the KEX. 86.50 by 86.80. Okay, so stop was right here, 86.80. This was where we got in as it broke 86.50. Target was low of the day. Fortunately, someone in the room let me know that 86.05 was low of the day, because as you saw from that previous chart, what I had before was 86.20. That's just because that entire point in the day, those hours, wasn't getting any information on it. So once we got the correct information, looking for low of the day, 86.05. It's a little bit short of 2 hours. Okay, I think in the end where we covered ended up being a little over 1.5. And this actually went almost 4 hours on this. I think if you happen to catch the low, that's not my expectation. Never, expect to maximize everything to buy the low and sell the high, right? But realistically, you could have held this for a little bit more. Because of the daily chart here, my target was just low of the day, one shot, one target, and that was it. It was into support for me on the daily, so that's fine. I missed out on this. Happens sometimes. I think you just target maybe was a little bit too conservative as it proved here, as price moved lower. But that was fine. So if I was the type of trader who could only trade the open and some kind of technical issues take me out of it, then the day is pretty much lost for me. But for me and the other moderators in the Black Room, we trade from the open to the close. And we may not be taking a lot of plays, like especially at lunch, but as the opportunity presents itself, right, we're there to take advantage. And why wouldn't I? I mean, this is a great 15-minute pattern. I think this is a base that most traders who play breakouts and breakdowns, probably the most common pattern that's referenced, who can't recognize this breakdown or this breakdown here? I would think just about everyone can. So you had a nice sell setup, bleed sideways, 20 MA catches up and pushes it down. So you know, I like trading the afternoon. I like that we get additional information about the intraday trend, and especially yesterday being as bullish as the market was, this was showing clear relative weakness, right? So trading into the afternoon, especially into the last hour, notice that's when this started to pick up. Volume's pretty low throughout lunch in the early afternoon and then into the close, right? I think there's a common saying, smart money closes the day or something like that, but it's not so much worried about that or thinking that, oh, there's some kind of special significance in the way something closes. I think the close does matter. I think it's just that in something like this, which was breaking the uptrend and getting the confirmation yesterday that the uptrend was being damaged, that people had business they needed to do. Some people waited till the end of the close to do the business or exit the long position or start their short, whatever the case may be. Okay, so I just wanted to present that. I think yesterday was a pretty unique situation for me, and I was especially just proud of myself for the way I was able to finish it and keeping my head in the game, sticking with it, and not getting too frustrated with the technical difficulties. Okay, so that was just a quick review of the KEX and why we trade from open to close. So hopefully you found that useful, and if you'd like to come trade with us, then join us in the black room.